Well, good evening. Welcome to the Collateral Podcast. So good to have you guys with us. Again, my name is Charisma. I am one of the owners here at Collateral Esports. My role here is to run operations, the general day-to-day stuff of Collateral. So it's so excited to be back doing this podcast for our second episode. We had some amazing feedback from the first one, so we can't wait to see how this one goes. So we definitely don't have it all together, but we're going to work it out as we go. I want to introduce one of our other co-hosts for tonight or for this podcast, and that's Rusty. Why don't you say good day?
What's going on? So yeah, again, my name is Rusty. I run the business side now of Collateral. So basically, just talking to clients, organizing, say, tournaments. I'd guess. Also going to be running into sponsors and just, and I'd say almost business and community interaction. Almost, I'd say. Um, and yeah, that's me. And then we'll take it over to Raz.
Fantastic. Well, I am happy to announce that on this podcast right now, we have the new co-owner of Collateral Esports, Mr. Raz. Here he is.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
We're happy to
Me.
announce that Collateral and Raz have partnered together to bring him on as part ownership of the org. It's something we've been thinking about, and we feel like that this is the best move for us as an org moving forward. That Raz would come on board. And be a part of what we're doing. We've loved having him on board right since the beginning of Collateral. He embodies everything that we're about, and so we're excited to have him on board. Raz, why don't you say hello to the people?
Yeah, I mean, this is just a great opportunity for me. Like, it's something I've been working towards my whole life. Like, my mum's gonna be super proud of me now. I'm not just that like jobless guy that's been doing nothing for so long. I've finally got a reason that I've been sitting in my room playing games for the last bloody 12 years. So yeah, I feel a bit accomplished now. And
Fantastic.
yeah.
Well, fantastic. So that is our little introductory. I forgot to say hello, boys. Hello to our people watching this throughout the week. On Spotify, YouTube, and of course our people live in the chat right now. We have had some incredible feedback over the podcast over the last couple of weeks. So we're super thankful if you have tuned in, or if this is your first time tuning in. We're glad you're here. Hang around. We believe this is pretty good discussion. We want to intrigue you. We want to provoke your thoughts around gaming and esports. So, boys, I want to get straight into it. I don't want to waste too much time because I felt like last week the conversation was so good we ran out of time. So, boys, I want to do a throwback, and I want to get you guys thinking. This is probably more me getting you guys thinking about where we've come from, where I've come from. So I came apart, or I took part ownership of Collateral Esports close to 8 years ago now. I feel like it is. 8 years ago, I became an owner of Collateral Esports, and in the history of Collateral Esports, we took it over at a point where there was a Call of Duty team, and we started to restructure and relook at how that went. Um, and since then, we've actually seen some incredible growth of players that have been through Collateral. So Collateral actually has a history of people succeeding, achieving, going above and beyond. And Rusty, I think you've actually got you've done a bit of research on some of our ex-Collateral members.
Yeah, definitely. So back in its very beginning, believe it or not, we actually had was it Pred from
Yep.
Renegades? Whether he was a permanent player or a sub, I'm actually not sure, but I do have footage of him playing for us. And Den's from Paris Legion, or ex-Paris Legion player now. Yeah, there's also footage of him playing for us as well, which is really huge. I didn't actually expect to see that.
Yeah.
Which,
So
which is just big. So
Yeah, so we've seen some incredible things happen over the last 8 years. Obviously, as I said in the last podcast, Collateral took a break for quite some years actually, and it was only through a discussion with myself and Rusty while we were fixing my computer last year that why don't we restart this org and give it a fresh perspective, a fresh go. We believe that esports in Australia and New Zealand is on the way up. It's about to hit its all-time high, and we reckon now's a better time than ever to come and run an org and give people the opportunity to be to play under an org, and we want to be the org that sees great teams, and we've already seen that with our Valorant team starting to do really well, and a bunch of other different stuff like that. The exciting news is that I'm happy to announce here on the podcast that we have merchandising on the way. I know we've mentioned it a couple of times and it's felt a bit slow, but we are really really close. But boys, I wanna provoke your thinking on where were you 8 years ago, around the time that myself and a past owner took on Collateral Esports.
I was
I w-
probably sitting in my little sweaty cave as a 14-year-old boy playing probably, that stage would have been Ghost, I'd say. So I was probably sitting there playing Ghost. Good times, good times. Sweating around with a honey badger. Um,
Oh, he's back.
Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. We we've had some serious technical difficulties.
what,
Oh, man.
what happened there?
Bunch of
We're back.
amateurs.
We're back. We're back. No one panic. No one panic. We're back.
No,
Oh
guys,
my-
you don't need to come in. No, stay out. Stay out. No, it's all good. The team is coming back to resurge it, but Kevin's got it. It's nice.
Oh man, what? That's panic stations. All right. So 8 years ago.
Man, I don't know what I was doing. I can't remember what I did yesterday, to be fair. I was probably just running around, still playing Modern Warfare 2, because I hung on to that game for so long.
Didn't we all?
Yeah, like Black Ops, I'd played like the occasional zombies and that, but I was still just stuck to Modern Warfare 2 because I didn't like any game as much as that one.
Yeah. I'm sure I was.
Playing a lot of Skate 3 as well. Skate 3 was my jam.
Skate 3. Man, people still play
Yeah.
Skate 3, hey?
Bro, I was playing like last week.
Yeah.
Such a good game, man.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to think about where I was 8 years ago, and I think I must have been again playing Modern Warfare 2. What was it? Does anyone remember? Maybe in the chat. Does anyone remember what the current Call of Duty was around 8 years ago?
I
like-
can give her a quick Google.
Was that like Black Ops 2?
Call of Duty timeline, I guess. That'll be the easiest.
It might have been Black Ops 2.
What are we? 2021, so that's 2013.
Yeah.
So
Modern Warfare 3.
2013, Ghosts and Advanced Warfare.
Ghost.
Yeah, I
Advanced-
barely touched those ones.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
I
I
played the
think
campaigns though. Campaigns were great.
I think Ghost was. I wanna say Ghost was the beginning of the end for my competitive career.
Yeah, see, I think that's where mine skyrocketed, I think. Ghosts leading into Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, I think that's.
Such different levels of competitive playing at that time. I hadn't even thought about playing competitively. I was just happy playing on my TV, the opposite side of the room. Just like just not playing with a mic in, just playing with Rands.
Yeah, I think what happened for me was I just felt like I couldn't compete at the level that I needed to anymore. I felt like I was being more of a liability to my team than I was. What's the word I'm looking for? I wasn't providing for the team. I wasn't performing. And almost a nade shot-esque moment. I now own an organ. Just not quite.
Yeah, I thought I saw that coming along when we were playing Warzone together. You know, it's the same kind of story.
Sorry, what was that?
It's the same kind of thing when we were playing Warzone together. It's the same kind of story, like just not being good enough, not providing enough for the team.
Yeah, exactly right.
Just, doing your own thing, just happy to be here.
I'm being bullied right from the get-go. In all seriousness, though, I don't think I've I think since around that Ghost era, I've never been quite the same as at Call of Duty that I ever was. And maybe, and I've started to think about this, and maybe it's the skill level of Call of Duty is actually significantly higher than what it used to be. Um, Boys, what do you reckon?
Definitely.
Like, what do you think about like this changing culture of Call of Duty, where it's the age of casual gaming's dead, and it's I see joking TikToks about it all the time about people sweating it out. But do you think casual Call of Duty's kind of dead?
I think there's a certain level where since they've introduced skill-based matchmaking, um, I think as soon as you hit past 1 KD, it's basically a sweat fest.
Yeah.
Like
Mm,
you, if you're a casual gamer, you've got to stay under that, 1 KD mark. You got to be a point 0, point 0.8, point 0.9 KD. Otherwise, you're just gonna get thrown into lobbies with sweats, and not even necessarily sweats, just people that are, better, I guess.
I feel like because there's such a tighter group of people that you get put with now. Like especially when I play now, I see the same names come up all the time. Like when we used to play Search, you'd see the same few people all the time. You're
yeah,
always
yeah,
stuck with those people, and like it sucks. When Modern Warfare 2019 come out, I was so excited. I was like, oh, it's gonna be Christmas noobs gonna come in. I didn't see a single Christmas noob because I was too above the level for them to be coming into the game.
yeah, yeah,
So I feel like all the different mechanics that they've added into the game for like movement and stuff, like being able to slide and slide cancel and do all these things where you can move your character a lot more. There's so many options of jumping and like drop shotting. Is that um, it's not as like it's not as there's so many like so much room to outplay someone,
yeah,
and so if you're a bad player, you're just gonna struggle.
yeah, for
Like if
sure.
you're a casual.
Yeah, for sure. And so, what do you do, boys? Like, is this part of the reason we see games like Call of Duty, these ones that have skill-based matchmaking? Is this why we see their player base reducing because people feel like they can't come and just have fun on a video game anymore?
Yeah, I feel like that's where a lot of the battle royales or the just your open world games are really skyrocketing because I feel like they're getting a chance to have more of a go,
Yeah.
Mm,
um, rather
looting
than
simulator.
yeah, and um, especially role play and your open world games, they can at least it's a lot more casual. They don't have other people around out there to kill them, I
Yeah.
guess, depending on the game.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So do you think gaming's almost shifting back to a single player game culture, which is where we came from?
almost definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know,
And
I've been playing the Modern Warfare campaign recently. I've been loving that.
yeah, yeah. And
I was like, I'm actually having a good time gaming. I'm not getting angry. I'm just vibing, you know.
yeah.
It's like watching a movie.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing a bit more than just sitting on the sofa watching a movie.
Yeah, exactly right. And so I think single player games are becoming a big thing again. I was only talking to a friend about this today. Um, he was talking to me about Mass Effect and how
Mm,
remastering the Mass Effect trilogy. And he said the beautiful thing about these Mass Effect trilogy games is there's no online capabilities. It's just you and a beautifully crafted campaign. Um, and you don't have to worry about all these other things going on. You can just play the campaign and play it on what it is, And so I think the changing culture is a big thing. I believe single player games are actually going to become a more uh, marketable thing now, because people just want to relax and game, and it's actually
mm.
becoming
So I
increasingly
really
how they
want to
think.
do that and play some more campaigns. Like I was trying to get my missus to play like Gears of War and Halo, like the co-op campaign kind of games. She's like, oh, I can't play them because they're too clunky. They're not the same as what they used to be. Like back in the day, it looked amazing, but now it looks awful. And I'm just like, just want to play a campaign with someone. That's all I want in a minute. It's like, oh, World at War, you could do co-op campaign. Let's do it. Then she watched the trailer for the game. She's like, I'm not playing that. But I heard Battlefield 6, the new Battlefield might have co-op campaign, so I'm really excited to see that.
Well, that'd be fantastic to have that
Mm.
that co-op
Yeah,
campaign ability. I think that would almost be something incredibly marketable to add to a game feature is to have a co-op campaign where you can go through that together. You can work on the same mission with different POVs. Like I remember, I can't remember the games I used to play. I think Gears of War might have done it at some point, maybe. Um, but that campaign ability where it's just you and your mate
Yeah.
playing a campaign together. I was talking to this friend today even about the old Lord of the Rings games back on PlayStation 2 and how you could play that as a co-op mode. And I just remember like how much fun that was to play as a co-op, like fighting off the orcs together, like
That's what I was
to.
thinking as I was playing through the Modern Warfare campaign the other day. Is that you walk in a group of like 10 people, so surely you could be able to fit like a squad of 4 going in and just like not having to do like as many important things for the story. Like sometimes one guy's got to breach, but then I'm thinking about like connection issues and stuff. You got to wait for one guy who's got to breach this wall, and then he like disconnects. What goes with that? Like so maybe like just a duo campaign would be sick. But I'm like watching a whole group of 10 people at Modern Warfare. I'm like there could be another person in here that I could chat to while this is going on.
Yeah, yeah. Like I even think about Modern Warfare 2 and its Spec Ops mode was almost like its
Oh,
own.
see,
It wasn't a campaign. Like let's not call it what it isn't. But it had that campaign aspect where you felt like there
Yeah.
was some sort of story attached to it. It wasn't just mindlessly running through a mission, but there was still some context added to what you were doing. And
Mm.
I just remember how fun. Like I only did that with a mate a couple years ago. We went back through and played those Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops missions, and they were excellent.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because they
it
had
was
that
it was
they had that story element because they tapped into partially of the campaign. Like there's some of the missions you do I like have some sort of attachment to that campaign. Like
Yeah.
you're in the same area doing very similar stuff, but you've got a teammate with you. And I remember how excellent that was to have that co-op ability. And so what was your favorite co-op game or your favorite co-op you've ever done?
Favorite
oh
co-op.
I think mine for sure is it's got to be like I love Modern Warfare 2. I love those Spec Ops, but I really
Yeah.
love I seriously loved the old Lord of the Rings games.
yeah. See, I don't think I ever got a chance to play them, to be honest.
Too young.
Yeah, probably too young actually. Um, favorite Spec Ops game? Oh, Spec Ops co-op game. Oh, I don't even know.
I
Probably.
remember doing them with my dad, like the Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops. They were so fun. Even it was like last year I went through them with my missus as well. And she cracks the shits because I'm like way higher skill level than her. What was the one we got stuck on a one where we were at the airport and there's all the riot shields.
Oh,
And
that's
she just didn't
hard.
know what to do, and she was panicking. And she's like, "This is so hard." I was like, "Because we're doing them on veteran. Like, we're doing this on the hardest level. We're getting it done. We're getting the stars." And yeah, we ended up having big fights over her not being able to keep up.
Mm,
But that's just so
I,
fun for me.
I think that's the same with myself and my partner. We play a lot of Mario Kart, so we've got a Nintendo Switch.
Mm.
Play a
Mm.
lot of Mario Kart, and our competition levels are definitely there, and it's sometimes it can cause fights. It's pretty funny.
We're gonna have to get another Mario Kart night going on.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to get
They were so
another.
fun
Yeah.
that night.
I don't know if I can go through that again, boys. Last time we did last time we did a co-stream on Raz's Twitch, I was trying with every fiber in my body not to get tilted at Mario Kart. I hate that game. I hate what it's about, and I hate that I lose in everything I do on Mario Kart. I hate that game.
Oh, see, I had like my partner's friends. They had it, so we were just playing just the 4 of us, and the boyfriend he smashed me. Like I hadn't played for like 5 years. It was my first time getting it again, and they were like, "Oh, let's play tonight. Like you got it, let's play." It's like, oh god, I didn't even get to warm up or anything. Just jumped straight in, and the
Yeah.
guy just he was gone. He was just I didn't even come close to him in any of the games. I was like, right, that's it. The next time we play together, I'm gonna sweat it out. And so I spent like 2 weeks just pure training for it. It was like a Rocky montage of just trying looking up YouTube, finding all the shortcuts. It's like, I've got to be the best. Got to do it. Got to do it.
See that's motivation. That's
Exactly.
If you're watching on YouTube or you're in the chat right now, why don't you put in the chat what was your favorite co-op game you've ever played? So it can be anything. It can be even like a simple game you play on your phone, right across to a console game or a computer game, whatever it is. Why don't you put in what was your favorite co-op game you've ever played? Um, boys, speak. Speaking of games of old, I wanna talk about the gaming of old, and that is, what was your first console you ever
Ooh.
got? Your first console you ever got? For me, it was the PlayStation One. Uh, if we're talking consoles, like not Nintendo DSs and stuff like that. Um, I had a Nintendo DS before that, but I think my first console was definitely the PS1 was before the DS. So yeah, it must have been a PS1. I had a
Yeah.
PlayStation 1 and I remember playing. I don't remember what my first game is, but if you guys can remember your first game, feel free to pipe up. But
Um,
I think the first one I remember playing in my memory was it was like a was it like I think what was that? Oh, he's a cartoon. His name was like Tazo or Tarzo or but
mm,
this
not sure.
really old game. I can picture all these games I played, but I can't quite remember their names. So boys, what was your first console you ever had?
Um, I actually think my first console was probably the Wii. I did
Nice.
later down the track buy a PS1, buy a PS2, buy a Nintendo 64. Um, but I think my first one was actually the Wii.
Nintendo
Wow.
Um,
Wii.
what did I play? I just used to play Wii Sports Resort, and you know how you could get the sword and run through the islands with the sword?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
I love
sparring
the
people.
fencing.
I used to do
Yeah,
that,
that was
and just the
great.
wrestling one, the boxing one as well. That's
Mm.
all I did.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
So
when
I
I
had Wii
did get
Sports
around,
Stage. Yeah.
yeah, when I did get around to getting like a PlayStation 1, or it might have even been the PlayStation 2, there was this wicked Hot Wheels car game that I played.
Yeah.
I think I'm could have been PS2, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
PS1 was probably too early for Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Um, but oh, hands down favorite old nostalgic game I think ever.
Clips
It's
in the
just
chat talk about the eye toy.
The
That's so
eye
funny. I can
toy.
imagine him
Oh my
sitting there
gosh,
playing on the
the
eye
eye
toy. That's so funny.
toy. I remember I went to a friend's house and I had the eye toy and on the PlayStation 2 and I went to a friend's house and I forgot it and I remember ringing my mum and saying, "Hey mum, I need the eye toy because I want to play the games on the eye toy. I want to play the window washing game.
Yes.
I want to play all those." And she's like, "No, I don't have time." And I remember going, "Fine," and then hanging up on her. And then she rocked up to my friend's house with it, but she was so furious that I hung up on her. But man, all I wanted to do
Oh,
was just play some window washer on the iToy. Is that so wrong?
man, I remember being at my like auntie's house and they had like the dancing games you see at the arcades, but they had like the mat that plugged into the PlayStation.
oh,
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 what Just Dance?
was that what it was? I had no
Yeah,
idea. I was
Just Dance. Yep,
so
I
young
had
when I
that on
had
the
it.
Wii.
Oh man, that was so funny. I think I started out playing with the GameCube.
wow.
I was an old head.
Yeah.
My mum had a boyfriend and he had a GameCube and like he was with us for a while. Then they broke up and he was like, "Oh, you can keep the GameCube," and it was the happiest moment of my life. I put so much time and effort into that. Um, but I was a big Nintendo boy for so long because I had my mum had the PlayStation One, but I'd never really played it. All the games were not. I think Nintendo just vibed with me more as a child because of like the round shapes and it looked cooler to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was big on like Mario Kart, Double Dash was been my favorite Mario Kart. Luigi's Mansion was a great game, and I just played the more recent one that had come out on the Switch. That was cool. But I was heavy on the GameCube. It was a long time since I started playing Xbox or anything like that.
Yeah. How iconic was that GameCube turning it like when you turned it on?
Oh man,
And it
I've been
rolled out
trying
the
to get
G?
one. Mm, I've been looking. I'm waiting to get one at the right time. The games are so expensive because there's not that many of them left. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Can't relate. I'm
They
probably
were
too young for that as well.
Nah,
they were only a small disc, no?
they were like, it
I
was like
remember.
this big.
Yeah,
It
I
was
remember a
tiny.
friend used to have one, but I'm trying to jog my memory on it. The disc was only really tiny.
Yeah,
It was
it was like
almost
a
like,
floppy disk.
yeah, it was almost like a PSP sized disc, wasn't
Yeah, just about that size. Yeah,
it?
like the whole
Yeah,
cartridge thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. On the PSP, now I think of it, is that the first real like next gen, like it really took that handheld gaming into the next sort of level?
I mean, you just skipped out Game Boys. Those things were next gen. Game Boy Advance. Oh my
Was the
god.
DS before
Color.
the PSP?
I think it was quite a bit before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the
see,
Game
The
Boy
the
would have been.
PSP
PSP
was
was
like
just
almost
evolutionary, man.
PlayStation 3 kind of level games
Yeah,
compared to what the DS was capable of doing. But that's
Yeah.
just how Nintendo have been behind on like hardware. They've been like that for so long.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. So the PSP, I'm trying to jog my memory on it, but did the PSP have nearly like it had like a lot of those games you'd find on a console, but you could get it in like a obviously a reduced resolution and FPS sort of manner?
I think so. I was never a PSP
I
gamer.
never had one.
Um,
My parents weren't rich enough.
I had a PSP, but it was almost. I had a lot of the similar games. I did have it from on my PS3 to my PSP because I used to get mum and dad actually figured I had it once, and I got grounded once, so they took the PlayStation off me, and I had the PSP under my pillow in the cupboard.
Sneaky.
So
I
yeah,
think I
so I'd
played
play.
Tekken on it once, and it was like still looked like Tekken. It wasn't like
Mm.
pixelated as hell.
Yeah, I think I remember the PSP being okay. Like
Yeah,
I think it even had the same dashboard as the PlayStation, like
yeah,
Mm.
the
yeah,
console.
the exact same dashboard. I
Yeah.
remember I used to play Midnight Club racing on it.
Midnight Club.
Oh, oh man, and it was good because you could actually plug it into your TV, so you could put it on the big
True.
screen anyway.
Yeah.
It had an AV cable input output. Um,
So it was like the original type of Nintendo Switch that we see now.
Yeah.
It was just a bit
yeah,
more difficult and complex.
Probably more powerful than
yeah.
a
So it was
Switch
the
as well.
PlayStation
Well,
3.
that's what I was wondering. Do you think it might be more powerful than a Switch?
Oof.
Oh, I don't know.
So
Maybe
it's
the
a
new
take. It's a hot
PSP, like
take.
the latest PSP, but probably not the original.
Is there a latest PSP?
Yeah, it's PSP Vita.
Oh yeah.
How new is that?
PlayStation 4 system, I think.
Oh, right. Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that.
But I don't know how good it is. I just never got one. I
Yeah.
know it uses the same operating system,
Yeah, yeah.
and you can you can mirror image your games from your PlayStation to it
Oh, that's cool.
over like Wi-Fi and stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And it's actually same resolution and everything, I think, and you can actually still play like you could probably play Warzone on it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I doubt you'd even be able to get close to having the memory for it on it.
Oh no, like it's
It
directly
wouldn't.
from
It
your
wouldn't even have the VRAM
screen.
to do it.
Oh, mirroring it from
Yeah,
it.
it's mirroring it from your
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah, but you'd still need decent VRAM to mirror that, right?
Oh yeah, it's probably, I suppose so. But
There's some people in the chat saying they've played Dance Dance Revolution, NES Super Mario. I'm The Gozzy Gaming says I'm disappointed you guys aren't in a hot tub right now.
That's next fortnight.
Yeah, that's next week. You guys, yeah, you've come one podcast early if you're looking for the hot tub stream, but it's coming. Trust me. Very limited edition Collateral mankinis are in the mail. So
Yeah.
so
That's the word she was going on about being here soon.
What's the PSP-S 05 and the DS 04? I remember having a Nintendo DS.
Did you have many? Did you have many of them? I had like 3 different versions.
Of the DS?
yeah, I had like a DS
Yeah.
Lite, DS XL.
See, I had the
Um,
first one.
I only had I just remember my DS was really small. The screen was like this big.
Oh, I might have been a light then.
It was red, like it was a cherry red sort of thing.
Yeah.
I actually think I still have one around here somewhere.
Do you have any
I've got one
games?
sitting here somewhere. I've been
Yeah.
playing Pokemon on it.
I think
I
there's
mean,
like a
like
full
when we
full
play
bag.
Search, when we used to play Search, I'd just sit here and play Pokemon, and then just close it so it paused. I love DSs, man. They're so good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember you used to play my DS all the time, man.
Mm.
All the
We
time.
we used to go to like we had a football stadium across the road from my house, and we used to go there, and all the kids from my school would go. We'd just bring our DSs. All the parents would drink in the bar. And we'd just be sitting on the floor playing Mario Kart DS, like just linked up together. It was so funny. It's just man. There's not enough
Uh,
of that going on anymore, you know. There's no 8-year-olds, 12-year-olds going to sit in the floor in a pub playing DS linked up, sitting
yeah,
in Picto
that's
Chat.
because they've all got Xbox Series X and I don't need to leave the house.
I
Yeah.
mean, do you remember the OG times of going to your mate's house and there'd be like 4 or 5 years around, you all took your PlayStations around? And
Yes,
you'd sit in
yes,
the same room with just like 5 screens all
yeah.
out and you'd
You'd have
just
a big
play
LAN
daily.
party.
Yeah.
Damn,
I just re-
dude.
they were nuts.
I even remember it was only a couple of years ago. It was probably only 2 years ago now. I had me and 5 other mates. We all came to what was the house I was living in at the time. We all brought our computers around to my house and we linked up and we had a 3v3 Age of Empires LAN party.
Let's go.
Oh, see that's the go.
It was legendary having an Age of Empires LAN party. Like, I remember we'd like be screaming at each other. Like, it was intense, bro. It was so intense. Uh, some of the best times, boys. What are your favorite memories from LAN parties?
Oh,
I was never involved. I never had that kind of scene. The
oh, you're
closest I ever
missing
got to a
out.
LAN party was being 18, and we used to just go to someone's house and play Skate Free. It's not even. We never had any like 2 consoles in one space.
Right. Well,
Or
let me rephrase the question. What was your favorite combined night with mates video gaming?
oh,
Oh,
just it's got to be those kind of nights. Like we just go get beers, go to someone's house, and just play Skate Free for like 8 hours. And then I found Steep, which is like just snowboarding and skiing. Just had the same kind of vibe as Skate Free. Like it's like, guys, look at this, and like, everyone was just shocked. And that was as much fun. We would just sit there and play Skate for hours, just
Yeah, yeah.
getting drunk. That's it.
Rusty, what about you?
um, I think mine would actually have to probably be Minecraft LAN parties. They were just off tap, man. Like I'd get all my mates around. We'd have these crappy little laptops that could barely run the game, and like, oh, I remember there was probably 6 or 7 of us in the house. I created one of those servers that you could run just off your desktop,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and we just run amok on that, just as much TNT as we could fill the world with, and just see how badly we and how quickly we could crash a server, or you know, it was just off tap. I feel like Minecraft nights were just my favorite.
Yeah. I reckon my favorite was I'd have mates round at my house or we'd go to mates' houses. This would have been back on, must have been the Xbox 360, is my assumption, or the PS3 or Xbox 360 sort of thing. Um, we'd have mates around at my house or another mate's house or whatever, and we'd all like be on the same internet in the same room, like searching Modern Warfare 2 lobbies together.
Yeah, I suppose that's like kind of how I started when I used to play with my dad when I was real young in Modern Warfare 2 times, and we'd play Search with his football friends, and it'd just be me and my dad sitting in the same room together, just queuing at the same time, like queuing in the same lobbies. It was so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mum used to ground me, take my Xbox off me at home. Then I'd go to my dad's on the weekend. He'd be like, "I'm not going to punish you. Your mum's punishing you. Let's play some COD, boy."
That's parenting.
Roman,
That's the
Exactly.
dream.
Rom in the chat says Picto Chat on the DS.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if I ever played Picto Chat. Can someone explain it to me? Do you guys know?
Was that
It's just like a
was
chat
that
room.
like a drawing one?
Yeah, it's just like you could draw like with the pen, and it was just a
So
chat
it's
room.
sort of like
Oh, yeah.
Pictionary almost.
Right. Yeah, 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 yeah. I remember. Cool. That's man, it's so nice to like go back and reminisce on old games and like old memories on like video gaming because that's like when you go back in old memories, it's really what shaped who we are as gamers. Is those sort of memories. Like sitting in a room with someone, like a mate or a dad or something like that, and just those memories of how much fun you had really what shapes you and makes you love video games for what they are. Because at the end of the day, beside all the toxicity, video games are really good at connecting us and having fun together wherever we are in the world, which I think is awesome.
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
struggle
definitely.
playing with friends back home. Now I'm over here, but we're still connected.
Yeah, exactly, exactly right.
Can't wait till we get lobbies fixed. Imagine playing on a server with my friends back home on 50 ping like I get here. Like
That'd be
that'd be
awesome.
Yeah,
great. Instead of
imagine if
400.
it was just ping was warranted off your own net, and
Mm.
like it'd be great. You could play with literally anyone in the world.
But I
Yeah.
used to play at like 3 a.m. and I'd get like American lobbies. I never would even notice lag or anything. But I
Yeah.
feel it's so much worse now. I guess it might just be maybe I was always host. They were lagging. That's why I was so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That could have been it.
Boys, do you? I don't know if you guys have had an Xbox 360, but I remember on the Xbox 360, like the old Xbox operating system, you'd be able to search up any person on that had an Xbox account. You'd be able to search up their name, and if they were playing Call of Duty, you'd be able to join their lobby.
Yeah.
Um,
You can still do that now.
can you?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's how we used to do get into free for all games all the time, do a little bit of boosting, little headshots,
because
attack insertion action.
I used to I remember one time I joined Optic Predators lobby and I was
Oh man.
freaking out.
There's a
Like,
way you could turn it off, like you can with any party, like not be invited and not be joined.
yeah, I think there's a private function you can turn on, but at that time I don't think anyone was really utilizing that function. So I remember I
Yeah.
was just in Predators lobby and I was just freaking out that I was even like in an electronic manner, I was right next to him essentially as he just clapped me for 10 minutes. as
I do. Do you?
Mm.
I remember getting into a lobby with Ali A once. Don't know how. It was in Black Ops 2. I just significantly remember it because it was on the map standoff and he was using an MSMC and I died over and over. I couldn't do anything. He had swarms and K9 units in. Just, nah, drop the controller. I was like, nah, I'm done.
just gave up. Man, I even remember like competing like when I was at the end of my time with Call of Duty, I was like Halo 3. That's gonna be my next competitive dig is Halo 3.
I never really touched the Halo games that much.
Have you played them now?
No, I've been meaning to, but
Mm,
just haven't got around to it.
yeah.
It's like it's like half my hard drive space at the minute, but I haven't touched it because they're all on Game Pass.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're on Xbox Game Pass for PC as well, so maybe we can link.
Mm.
Um,
Really?
yeah, on Xbox Game Pass PC.
Xbox Game Pass PC. Is
Do
that
you
just
think
in
we'd
like
be
the
able to play
Microsoft store?
together? Is that
Yeah,
how that Game
I don't.
Pass
The
works?
Xbox Game Bar?
Yeah,
Game
there's
Pass.
there's like an actual Game Pass for PC.
Oh no, not that.
No. Boys, yeah, let's move on. There was some big news come out last week in esports that I think significant for esports in Australia, significant for esports in our whole region, and that was the announcement of the $5.1 million investment to order esports, which I think is a significant thing we've seen. I don't even know where to start. I don't know what to think. I just think it's berserk that this is the first in my memory. This is the first significant investment we've seen in Australian esports.
Oh, it's definitely the biggest, and I think it's a step in the right direction. It might enlighten a few other large investors to know that if someone's investing in it, it's obviously something that's worth investing into. I mean, we see every year, I think just this year, Chiefs got a $1.1 million investment, which is still a significant amount But I feel like
Which we've
that's
seen them use to move their Call of Duty team into a house together.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Moving their Call of Duty team into a house together is a huge move, and I don't think there's anything in Australia like that currently.
No, I don't think so
I
either.
think they'd probably be the only team that's done it, and it's a huge step, and it's definitely following in the footsteps of what the US and possibly Europe are doing.
Yeah.
Which definitely shows that obviously Australian esports is on the move, and hopefully we can see some big changes coming soon, and some more money and some more, I guess, viewers, and bringing in more money, I guess, just
Yeah. So
into the spotlight.
I suppose we've seen dabbles of this monetized sporting culture come over from America in recent years, where particularly I've seen in the A League and the NBL, we've seen American and European sports people start investing in and taking in ownership stakes in sporting teams here in Australia. So I know there's a bunch of different American basketball players that have ownership stakes in Australian basketball teams, and so now we've seen this order investment. Raz, do you think Australia has the potential to grow an esports scene that is worthy of time and effort to potential investors?
Definitely. And I think it's just becoming a lot bigger for everyone. So many more eyes on into the esports scene.
Yeah.
I think, and like look at Post Malone investing in Dallas Empire, like taking a stake out of them, and is it Offset? One of the Migos went for FaZe Clan. So
Yeah, and we see Drake
maybe
has ownership in 100 Thieves.
mm, exactly. So maybe Curse is looking for something to spend his money on. He might look our way.
Cursor 360, hey.
Yeah, hey,
I'd love to
Cursor,
see.
if you're watching, right here.
I think with all these kind of bigger people looking investing into teams, is just bringing so many more eyes into the whole kind of scene, which would be great. And then obviously all of the big suits and investors will also see it and be like, oh, this sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
I definitely think it comes a lot of influence though, and it will take some big things to happen before anything crazy starts. But
Yeah, I suppose when I first saw the shifting culture was last year. I was just scrolling Facebook, wasting time as I do, and I saw Perth was building a multi-million, I think it's $1 billion esports stadium in Perth,
wow, that's
which
hectic.
which
it's
to me was just like crazy to think that this is becoming a reality for
Mm.
Australia. Is esports is heading this way. Um, I was reading
I wonder
about
what life's going to be like in 20 years when the whole world's run by rappers and gamers.
and
no
LeBron
need for
and LeBron
politicians,
James is
hey.
our
Exactly.
president.
There's kids in school studying esports. You
I
know,
mean, the
people do
rollout
YouTube
through
and that.
colleges is just nuts, that they're actually having a class and a subject is dedicated to esports and building your career in esports. Like, we're seeing colleges, obviously in the States, are doing it, but we've seen the rollout in the recent probably 12 months of colleges and universities in Australia are actually doing it now,
Mm,
which is definitely good to see, because obviously the schools are acknowledging that esports is an actual job, and you can earn good money from it. Um, and yeah, I think it's just good that they're recognizing that and allowing students to compete against other schools, and it also allows larger organizations like, say, Renegades and Chiefs and Order to poach potential new talent as well. Like,
Mm.
that culture from the US to now Australia is definitely a good sign in the direction that we're going forward, I think.
mm.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Uh, Raz, do you think? Uh, and I hate to keep circling around to Call of Duty, but I think it's Call of Duty is the first franchised sporting league in esports. Do you think there's a place where um, Australia has, like, we see um, a Brisbane-based CDL team?
Oh. Obviously, all the good guys are in Melbourne, so maybe that'll come up first. But um, I don't know. It's rough to see. Obviously, I am new-ish to the country, and I'm still kind of working my way into seeing what's been going on all this time over here. Which kind of shows that there's a lot to be building up on in terms of like names and stuff, and maybe Brisbane might be able to pull some players together, get some good stuff going on. Maybe they'll be getting. Isn't there like a few Australian players who've gone over to the CDL though?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
I think I
100%.
saw a few names.
yeah, Renegades did go over 2 seasons ago, was it? I believe.
But even just singular players like transferring to other teams, I swear
Yeah.
I've seen like 3 or 4 names that have
Oh,
done
yeah,
it.
definitely.
So I suppose what I'm saying is, does Australia have the potential to launch a CDL franchise?
Oh,
From what I've been
not on the
seeing,
16-team scale. I don't think.
yeah,
Maybe in years to come. Now that universities and colleges are starting to get on board with eSports, but I don't think that in the next 5 years at least we'll probably see it.
Right. Do you think?
even looking at some of the scrim chats and CDL chats that we've kind of got going on over here, doesn't seem to be that structured and thought out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also would be big relying on teams from Asia. I think would probably be the kind of helping hand that would need to get it to go.
Yeah.
There's some big teams out in Japan and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be looking to
huge
come over.
teams.
Mm.
But then again, in those scrim chats, it's the top 8 in Australia are only scrimming the top 8. It's an elusive barrier, I guess, and it's sort of like the CDL. The 16 teams that are in the CDL are only versing each other, or 12 teams, is it?
Because the
They're only
buy-in so much as well.
Yeah. And there's not even that many large organizations in Australia that are, actively trying to get themselves into Call of Duty, just because it's such a hard esports to get into. If say you're coming from a Rocket League, a Fortnite, or even Rainbow Six
100%.
background.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Talking to other people that are obviously in the esports, field, they're saying that Call of Duty is one of the hardest esports to break into, and it's just purely because of that top 8 structure are only scrimming each other, so they can't put a team together that's willing to stick it out to get to top 8 to then be able to scrim the top teams. Which is definitely a barrier.
Right. Yeah. So I guess what we're saying, boys, collectively, is that we've got a while to go in Australian esports, but I think it seems like we can all agree it's definitely heading in the right direction.
Definitely, yeah.